What Really Happened on September 11th by Jesse Ventura. You didn't see anything about it in the mainstream media, but 2 weeks ago at a conference in San Francisco, more than 1,000 architects and engineers signed a petition demanding that Congress begin a new investigation into the destruction of the three World Trade Center skyscrapers on 9/11. That's right. These people put their reputations in potential jeopardy because they don't buy the government's version of events. They want to know how 200,000 tons of steel disintegrated and fell to the ground in 11 seconds. They question whether the hijacked planes were responsible or whether it could have been a controlled demolition from inside that brought down the Twin Towers in Building 7. Richard Gage, a member of the American Institute of Architects and the founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, put it like this: the original Federal Emergency Management Agency and the National Institute of Standards and Technology reports provide insufficient, contradictory, and fraudulent accounts of the circumstances of the tower's destruction. He's especially disturbed by Building 7, whose 47 stories came down in pure free-fall acceleration that afternoon, even though it was never hit by an aircraft. This is a subject I take up in my new book, American Conspiracies, published this week by Skyhorse. An excerpt follows. Some people have argued that the Twin Towers went down within a half hour of one another because of the way that they were constructed. Well, those 425,000 cubic yards of concrete and 200,000 tons of steel were designed to hold up against a Boeing 707, the largest plane built at the time, and the towers were completed in 1973. Analysis had shown that the 707 traveling at 600 miles an hour, and those had 4 engines, would not cause major damage. The twin-engine Boeing 757s that hit on 9/11 were going 440 and 550 miles an hour. Still, we are told that a molten, highly intense fuel mixture from the planes brought down these 2 steel-framed skyscrapers. Keep in mind that no other such skyscraper in history has ever been known to collapse completely due to fire damage. So could it actually have been the result of a controlled demolition from inside the buildings? I don't claim expertise about this, but I did work 4 years as part of the Navy's underwater demolition teams, where we were trained to blow things up to hell and high water. And my staff talked at some great length with a prominent physicist, Stephen E. Jones, who says that a gravity-driven collapse without demolition charges defies the laws of physics. These buildings fell at nearly the rate of freefall, straight down into their own footprint in approximately 10 seconds. An object dropped from the roof of the 110-story tall towers would reach the ground in about 9.2 seconds. Then there's the fact that the steel beams that weighed as much as 200,000 pounds got tossed laterally as far as 500 feet. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, started its own investigation on August 21st, 2002. When their 10,000-page long report came out 3 years later, the spokesman said that there was no evidence to suggest a controlled demolition. But Stephen E. Jones also says the molten metal found underground weeks later is proof that the jet fuel couldn't have been all that was responsible. I visited the site about 3 weeks after 9/11 with Governor Pataki and my wife Terry. It didn't mean anything to me at the time, but they had to suspend digging that day because they were running into heat pockets of huge temperatures. These fires kept burning for more than 3 months, the longest burning structure blaze ever. And this is all due to jet fuel? We're talking about molten metal more than 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Probably the most conclusive evidence about a controlled demolition is a research paper 2 years 9 authors published in the peer-reviewed Open Chemical Physics Journal in April 2009. In studying dust samples from the site, these scientists found chips of nano-thermite, which is a high-tech incendiary explosive. Here's what the paper's lead author, Dr. Niels Harrit of the University of Copenhagen's Chemistry Department, had to say about the explosive that he's convinced brought down the Twin Towers and the nearby Building 7. Thermite itself dates back to 1893. It is a mixture of aluminum and rust powder, which react to create intense heat. The reaction produces iron, heated to 2,500 degrees centigrade. This can be used to do welding. It can also be used to melt other iron. So in nano-thermite, this powder from 1893 is reduced to tiny particles, perfectly mixed. When these react, the intense heat develops much more quickly. Nano-thermite can be mixed with additives to give off intense heat, or serve as a very effective explosive. It contains more energy than dynamite and can be used as rocket fuel. Richard Gage is one of hundreds of credentialed architects and structural engineers who have put their careers on the line to point out the detailed anomalies and many implications of controlled demolition and the building collapses. As he puts it bluntly, once you get into the science, it's indisputable. That was an article written by Jesse Ventura that was promptly removed by the Huffington Post. This is Jesse Herman from Ventura Debates. Please follow the channel, like, visit the site, and sign the petition. Thank you.